Big up the Mendem. Welcome to Pitch Picks. Today we have the Champions League recap and the Brad Guzan interview. I think we all know where we're going to start, right? Do you know, Maresh?
Yeah, I mean, Dortmund got dismantled.
Oh no, we're not doing this. We're
Did
not
you-
doing this.
ESG's looking fucking.
We're not doing this.
Wow. Let's talk about their offside trap for a while.
You see what they do to
Hansi
us?
Flick's offside trap. I mean, I understand why players hate playing against
It
Barcelona.
looks like they're doing a synchronized swimming routine. It's incredible.
It's
It's like
insane.
they're sharing one telekinetic connection.
It's insane.
No, this is all my fault. I should have just went straight to you, talk about Declan Rice.
The levels of shame on this podcast.
Set piece FC at it again.
Here they go.
Levels of
spin
shame.
zone.
I've seen tweets from your fan base saying that was the biggest win in your club's history. You're a team that prides themselves on never being relegated, calling that the biggest win in your club's history at your home ground. This is a little sad.
The levels of shame on this podcast. This is what we resorted to. Deflection acts like this.
No, I was here. I came into this show ready to give you your flowers. Nobody said that you were going to win this game. Everybody counted you out.
Nobody except.
I'm saying
We'll roll back the footage. Except
you. I said that I was in that camp. Nobody thought you were going to win. I was going to give you guys your flowers, but the reaction online is where I'm just like, all right, it's not over. You haven't won the Champions League. You're not in the semifinals yet. What are we doing?
Go ahead, Za.
the levels of shame on this podcast.
It's one win. What if
This
you know what?
podcast-
You know what? It
this
would be the most
podcast-
Arsenal thing of all time to give up 4 in Madrid.
The levels of shame on this podcast. This podcast should have opened with 4 apologies to the fucking guru that is sitting right here, that when he talks, you just block out the actual knowledge, the minerals that should be landing in your fucking brains, and all you can think of is, oh, how can I clown this fucking idiot? How can I make jokes and not actually listen to what he's saying, and he's actually landing the fucking minerals on Arsenal Football Club?
Wait.
How can I bring up this and deflect and make all fun?
It's just tough when
It's
to hear
shameless.
it from an Arsenal passenger instead of a fan.
It's shameless.
I know, a passenger, and also, is the guru refunding the panel?
The panel for what?
He told us to take Eddie Nketiah golden boot.
We can, and
2024.
this is why I love my football takes. I love my football takes because they are all on record. We can run back the replay. Rewind selector. Liquid means forward. Gunshot means rewind. We can rewind it. Selector.
You code
know
switched
what?
like 3 times there.
You know what? What I said was, if you start Eddie Nketiah after what I just saw there, Eddie is a rhythm guy. You start him, he's gonna bang. Where was he? On the bench.
He's
What
not
about
a rhythm. Yeah, the only rhythm he is the rhythm fucking cannabis.
I mean,
shit
look
downstairs.
at the levels of deflection on this podcast. They cannot give me my moment. They're just deflecting Eddie Nketiah. Oh, this, that. Ladies and gentlemen, what you saw on Tuesday. What is it? What day is it today?
Today's Thursday.
What you saw on Tuesday was an absolute masterclass from Arsenal Football Club against Real Madrid, against all the fucking odds. Arsenal Football Club showed up that day and we fucking stood tall. I want to shout out my guy, Thomas Partey, unbelievable game. Miles Lewis-Skelly, unbelievable game. Declan Rice, unbelievable game. Urian Timber, unbelievable game. What's his name? Kivio stood up. I mean, he was shaky for a moment or two, but he stood up. He was unreal. Marino, unbelievable. The guy, anything that touches that left foot of Marino's when he's playing striker just goes on target. It always on target. Every single fucking shot. Bukayo Saka, my God, off a torn hamstring. David Alaba, who is world class, had to call in fucking Jude Bellingham for backup because Saka was doing bits down that right. Unbelievable.
Bro's on AARP.
Gabriel
Not
Martinelli.
world class anymore.
Gabriel Martinelli on that left side, absolutely cooking. He kept Fede Valverde back. It was a masterclass. David Raya showed up that one time that Mbappe came through. When I don't know who passed it to him. Bellingham passed it to him. Mbappe came through when he went in between Saliba and Kivio. He stood up. But apart from that, the first half, we could have scored like 4.
I agree.
The second half, we could have scored like 4. We did score 3. We could have scored like 5. That game could have easily been 8-0. And if it wasn't for Thibaut Courtois, that's exactly what the
That double. I didn't watch the second half, but that double save in the first half was insane.
He had ability.
one in the
He had like
second
3.
half,
He had like
too.
3 double saves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was insane. The
He had 3
athleticism
double saves.
at his age, 32, 33. I think all the best goalkeepers in world football right now are 32, going on 33. Him, I don't know if Donnarumma's there, but the Atletico guy,
Oblak and all that. But
Emi.
mark my words. Mark my words. And again, I know you guys didn't listen the first time I said this. It's a completely different style of game. It's a different ball game in the Champions League. Mark my words. We are in the mix. I'm not saying we are favorites. We are in the mix. We will forever be in the mix in the Champions League because our defense is unbelievable. Our defense will keep us in a 2-legged tie for as long as possible. We just have to pray for special moments. We had 3 of them. I'm looking back in terms of Emirates-wise, to reference what you said, the thing. Moments-wise, I mean, Premier League, we haven't won a Premier League at the Emirates, so that's thingy. I'm looking back and I'm trying to think of how I felt when we beat. The only other game that I can think of at the Emirates that's on this level of what happened to Real Madrid was when we beat Barcelona, the prime Barcelona. It was Messi, Xavi Hernandez, Iniesta, Busquets.
The team that beat United at Wembley.
That team.
Yeah.
Prime Barcelona, we beat them 2-1. Arshavin with the late one. That game was unbelievable because Barca should have absolutely murdered us just in the first half. They should have murdered us, but we got the 2 goals late. I think this one, because it was a clean sheet.
No, it always feels good to beat one of the Spanish teams.
That's the thing.
Them or
I don't know.
Barcelona?
I don't know which one's better, but one of those two. Because the Barca one, it's unfair. That season's already played out. This season hasn't played out fully, but it's on that level. But what a night!
Did you guys see that tweet that went viral after Arsenal won? It was like they should arrest.
There was a lot. You'd have to.
They said they should arrest Arteta now for the terrorism he's going to display in the second leg.
Brother, I want 10 center backs next game. I want 10 center backs playing. I want everybody just sitting in our Bonham kit.
Dude, you know how many texts I got? So I was in my last day in Hawaii. I got like 5 or 6 messages or texts being like, "Good luck when you go into the office tomorrow." And I was
for
dealing with Za, and I said. My favorite reply that I said was, it's my last day in Hawaii. Knowing the devil that I have to look in the eye when I arrive tomorrow is making me want to propel my body into the Pacific.
You're lucky I didn't see you. You're lucky I didn't see you yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was when I was on cloud 25. Yesterday I was talking shit in every single one of my group chats. If I had seen you yesterday, it would have been frying. But I mean,
did Declan Rice have like the best free kick game in ever?
That's never been done before. 2 direct free kicks in the Champions League knockout stages in one game has never been done before.
Because they were both gorgeous.
They were both unbelievable.
Flawless.
The second one is
The only one that comes to mind, I'm sure there's others, but the Neymar one versus PSG when they came back from
I mean, the
4
Messi
goals.
one.
The Messi
everyone
one.
talks about.
Messi Liverpool.
But dude, that Neymar one was fucking nuts
Insane
against PSG. But those 2 were the best ones
Yeah.
I've seen. I was like legitimately stunned.
The Juninho.
People
coming from
Ricardo,
Declan Rice
Ricardo,
is
Ricardo.
insane. Like you mentioned Messi, Neymar. We're talking about Declan Rice.
I know. I didn't know he
That's
had
the
it.
best DM on the planet.
I didn't-
What are we talking about? That's
You
a good
wanted
player.
him sacked.
That's a good.
Hold up.
That's a good player.
You wanted him
Hold
sacked,
up.
Marino
That's a good
sacked.
player.
Yeah,
I'll
the
concede
Marino,
that. I'll
everything he
concede
touches.
best DM on the planet if he pops the game winner in the Champions League and you guys win it.
He's the best DM on the planet right now.
know
Rodri
what?
did that.
You know what? The way that it's setting up right now could have the same matchup.
Inter.
Arsenal.
But
Too deep. It would just be defense on
Defense,
a
defense.
grind. A
It'd
slog
be the
you've never
first to
seen.
1 over 2 legs.
yeah,
Well,
but
Well, it'll be the final.
It'll be a final, so one.
Oh,
But
one.
that was basically the City game. It was
Yeah.
0-0 until like the 80s.
Yeah.
Nah, wait.
Can we have a private conversation without the Arsenal guys for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I'd love
I'll
to.
take them off. the
Sidebar?
camera. Want me to
Yeah.
mute their mics?
Yeah, this is bad.
dude, they were fucking. That was a banging performance. I mean, I got to give credit. It was
Yeah.
really good. It was impressive. I was impressed. I was legitimately. I was honestly, you know what, happy because it's rarefied air dismantling Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that.
It's a shame that that'll be on camera.
Yeah. But you got to give them credit. They played incredible.
I love the "You'll Never Sing That." song. Like, I love it. It's one,
I mean,
it's like one
Chief,
of my
I texted
joys
you.
of
This
life.
is bad.
Yeah,
I did.
you did.
I texted you,
sidebar
yeah.
in the text away from the group chat. Like,
And I only text Chief individually when it's bad.
yeah,
When there's bad stuff happening in the
this
ether.
This is bad
I
stuff.
sidebarred him. Man.
Yeah, this is bad stuff.
I said three
is-
words. This is bad.
This is scary, bad stuff.
But then I watched Barcelona play.
I watched Barcelona play.
I watched Inter play.
I watched PSG play.
I watched PSG play.
And
so
I-
then
I
I had,
felt a
and then
little
I
bit
said,
better.
okay, we're not completely cooked. They are missing their best center back, and Kivior can't keep this up forever.
Yeah.
He's proven that.
and
so.
and PSG does feel like they've got some magic about them. Like, that's what I'm hoping for.
Zal, you're not in the room right now.
Yeah, hold on,
Yeah.
we're sidebarring,
I-
but
I-
This is a sidebar.
You guys can have your sidebar after.
I'll archive that. Keep your comment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But
Your
like,
mic's muted,
I,
nobody can hear you.
between us, the three of us in the room right now, I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Because like this guy,
If
that,
they- if
that
they-
end of the table.
This is a weak Real Madrid team. They're coming off a loss on the weekend.
Yeah.
Going into this was a loss. And then the best case
Your
result.
mic is off.
Yeah, the best case result was that they were going to get a 0-0 here.
Yeah.
I just want them to enjoy
But this is
it.
now the worst case result.
I want them to enjoy it because, listen, the unfortunate reality is that I've been on the, as someone who's dismantled Real Madrid,
Mhm.
I've also been on the receiving end of a dismantling from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
When they seem dead to rights, and they got that black magic.
Yeah,
I
but
want
they
them
don't-
to
they
enjoy
don't have
this.
Karim Benzema
I
anymore.
want them to enjoy this.
They don't have.
But three rip at the Bernabeu, like I don't
Possible.
I don't want that to happen. But if there is a team that could do it,
It is Real Madrid.
anyways, we can go back in.
Yeah. Anyways, but
All I'm saying is all my teams win.
You did fly to London for Arsenal's only home defeat last year.
How
you
the
are a
Dolphins?
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
You
the
are a
Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins fan.
Outside of the Dolphins, my
and the
teams
Heat.
win.
And the Heat. You needed a
The
LeBron. You needed the fucking Avengers of basketball.
First of all, I've seen the Heat win 3 championships.
Okay.
They got me my job. I went to Boston Game 7, 7.5 point underdog, won that game. Stanley Cup champion, NCAA men's basketball champion, office 1-on-1-to-1 champion.
You got lucky in that.
No one is winning more than me right now. That's all I'm
The
saying.
Chief was there. Wouldn't
All
have gone
I'm saying.
down like that.
There
Oh
is
yeah. Wait, what'd you lose to fucking Eddie?
It was a miracle.
You lost to Eddie?
You had the easiest.
You lost
you
to
had the
Eddie?
easiest, You had the easiest run to a 1-on-1-to-1.
No, I didn't.
Hardest guy you took out was White Boy Ray.
He's one of the best players in the office.
Just saying.
6'4", 6'6".
He's big. He's large. But
There is a
whatever.
common
Yeah.
man.
Look, I admit I love when you guys fail. It is my favorite thing when Arsenal fails. So that game yesterday sent like a little shiver down my spine. I'm like, oh fuck.
Good.
Because I've enjoyed this season where Za's a passenger and Smokes wants Arteta out.
I wasn't a passenger.
We have that one on clip.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
we
a
have to-
passenger.
You
for
brought
the
a
rest of the
seatbelt
year.
to
No,
the
I
show.
I brought him his seatbelt and he tried to hang himself with it.
I was a passenger for the Premier League.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
My
No,
bad.
no,
That
Premier
was
League's been dead.
Jackson Michaels, a passenger.
Yeah, Jackson.
That's who the passenger is.
Right.
I miss Jackson.
I mean,
Actually,
dude,
don't,
you're saying that
I-
like I always held the belief that you guys were going to be good in Champions League.
Yeah, no, I try to tell.
And you also, when we were sounding our complaints and worries about QER, you were pounding.
I
that
did
drum.
say, hand up. It's. I mean, it's.
It was a worry. I didn't say that you were dead to rights, but I was like, it's,
You know-
it's a worrisome thing.
And just to piggyback off that, you know what it was? I think it was more of a losing Gabriel, who is arguably the best center back on the planet.
Yeah.
When that happens, that just sends shock waves down your
Yeah.
soul and it sets you off. But realistically, I mean, and this is I'm also part of this and all that, bro. If you look back at it, Kivior has been nothing but solid. The guy each time he's been called upon. He doesn't play. He plays one game every 5 to 6 games kind of thing. He comes in cold, but somehow, some why, each time he plays, you think in my brain it seems like the world is over, but the most amount of goals that we've conceded with him playing has been like 1 goal.
It's a
One
good thing-
goal in
It's a
games.
good thing to have. The next
Yeah.
man up.
And him with Saliba has been very solid. I think they haven't lost. They've drawn like 2 games. They've won most of them. I don't think they've lost a game them as a pairing. So it's we just need to be more confident in him. And I think the more we see him, games like these nothing games like Brentford now in the Premier League will help Arsenal fans' confidence. Will build the confidence within the fans. But Arteta has confidence in the guy. It showed he could have moved around, put Rice there.
We talked
moved
about
things around.
playing 3 at the
Bro,
back.
I talked about putting Declan Rice there.
Yeah.
You know,
That would have been dumb.
done that and all that. But Arteta has confidence in the guy, which is all that matters. Now the more we see him, the more the fans.
Mike, I have a question. All season, you've been saying that Partey's gone at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
After his performance there, what are the thoughts on extending him and telling Zubimendi to piss off?
So here's the thing, right? There's the heart and the actual realistic thing we should do. Do I think Partey will leave at the end of the season? Right now, as of now, it looks like he's gone. Do I think we should move on from Thomas Partey? Try move on from Thomas Partey? Should we be looking to replace? Should we be looking for a player in that position? Absolutely, because Partey is 31. He is injury prone. This is rare. In his tenure at Arsenal, this is rare that we've gotten a whole entire season.
Yeah, stats
of him
guys are
pretty
telling
much.
you to move on. This is the age you move on.
Yeah, him getting to get him fit and all that. But all that being said, he has been our best central midfielder this entire season.
I think he's a good you have when you have a quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and you have a veteran in the room.
So if that's what
teaching Miles
that's what I was
Skelly
gonna-
the way.
That's what I was gonna say. If he's willing to accept the Jorginho role, the role that Jorginho has in the team now going forward, I will say 1,000% sign him up. He's a fucking good player. We saw it against Madrid. However, the main issue with Partey is his wages. He's on almost 200 bags a week, whereas Jorginho's less.
He's your
Jorginho's like
Uncle
less than 100.
Casemiro.
Exactly. So if he accepts less than a hundo, he can have that fifth midfield spot. But he's been unbelievable. He's been unreal.
Which win did you think was more impressive? PSG 3-1 over Villa or Barca 4-0 over Dortmund?
I have my answer.
I actually don't know. I
Watching
really
PSG play,
don't. I really don't.
I mean that
PSG's
so
was more.
much fun.
PSG's was more impressive because they went down,
Yeah. More
and I think Villa's better than Dortmund.
agreed with that.
Dortmund is their fans are very annoying to me. There's this one guy who's always fucking replying to my shit as a Dortmund fan. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I get that guy too.
yeah, I'm like, you are only relevant because your league is shit. And you never, even in Bayern's worst year, you weren't the team that won. It was fucking Leverkusen.
They do bang though in the Champions League.
No, they don't.
They're always
They've
always
reached-
there.
They've reached
They
the
get-
final.
they get
They've
there.
reached the final with Lewandowski.
They were in the final last season.
Yeah, they got in the
Yeah.
final last
Final
year.
last year,
Which, like,
yep.
how the fuck did that happen? But
With
Easy
Roy.
roads.
There's no easy road.
I think that PSG's one was more impressive, and it's also because I'm absolutely drinking the PSG Kool-Aid. The way that they play makes my dick hard. It's like unbelievable. They like don't care about positional play. They like just move all over the place. It's absolutely insane. Having said that, I mean Barcelona, their attack is just so fucking like dialed in. It's crazy,
They're
dude.
getting it from everywhere too.
And that every time they do that synchronized offside trap, I literally moan. Like it's such a beautiful, fun thing to see.
It reminds me of what I would play FIFA with my boy Clark back in the day, and like he played football his whole life, and I never understood what offsides was when I was playing FIFA, and he would just spam that on me, and I get so pissed, and like it's like that's like what it is when I'm watching.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, PSG like shout out Desiree Doué. I was thinking about it on the drive-in this morning. I was like, Desiree Doué is a really crazy name. He sounds like he's in Destiny's Child.
I love how I saw a clip somewhere talking about it. How PSG, because now they have all these young guys, a lot of French guys, where they grow up playing street, like in the cage as they call it,
Yeah.
and it's just like that resembles how PSG plays. Like they're just like they're free.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, like you said, it's movement. They play like a street ball, and it just like it fits like not only like for what they're trying to do, but it fits the culture of like their city.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that's like a cool thing.
Yeah, and I mean that goal we had insane goals. First of all, I was going to say I think Declan Rice's first free kick is better than his second. The second one it went like perfect top corner, but the bend on the first one was
insane.
I actually don't know if I've ever seen a ball bend like that.
I don't
on
even
a
know
free
how
kick.
that's possible.
Messi.
Messi, I know.
Messi free kick is
Beckham.
Messi.
Yeah.
But dude, that
Yeah,
one
backs
that
good.
one was like 3 feet outside.
I mean, the Ronaldo goal at Highbury, or was that the Emirates? That one was like from like 80 million feet away.
Yeah, that's different
the one that
though.
moved
Like that's a
three
different.
directions.
But he like
That was
knuckled
Emirates.
it.
I get it.
crazy.
Like knuckles
But this-
crazy.
but the way
that one I can't.
that was
think
like a
of-
Randy Johnson slider.
It was nuts.
crazy. Yeah.
Anyways, but Desiree Doué's goal was absolutely fucking preposterous.
Kvaratskhelia, however you say it.
Insane.
That goal was crazy.
He was chopping men down.
Dude, the the stud roll he did. I can't remember who the defender was on Aston Villa, but I felt so bad for him because he had like perfect position, and then it looked like someone took both of his legs with rope strapped to him and just pulled them. Like he got wishboned.
I am so happy that PSG did not, that PSG got him, that he did not go to Liverpool, because that was the other team that was rumored to.
Yeah, he's a problem.
Did you do it?
Vardacelia.
Kvaratskhelia. Yeah.
Vardacelia. Yeah, they were really good, and yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. Like, there's some killers. Like,
Barcelona are very good. I mean, Lamine Yamal scores a fourth goal. He is no matter when he scores, it is impressive. He's a teenager.
Yeah, the toe poking it.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And
Wait till he comes up against Miles Lewis Skelly.
I'm praying for you, my boy.
Listen,
Brother,
I'll tell you this,
brother.
who's your next draw? If you once you
I actually don't even know this.
commit Haram and the Bernabeu.
I'm so locked in on the next game. I don't even know what side we're on.
Okay, so it'd be PSG
Really?
winner,
We got
PSG Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if you got Barcelona out of the way now and you got through both of them, it's yours to lose.
Yeah,
as long as them and PSG exist.
You see what he's doing now? You see what he's doing now?
Gymnastics.
See what he's doing now?
That's not gymnastics.
He's setting up his little
Oh,
troll game.
yes, I
His little
see.
troll game. It's yours to lose.
Yours to
Yours
lose.
Yours to lose.
We've never won it before.
He said if that bracket was that,
He's
it would
setting
be
up-
yours to lose.
that's-
But I forgot we don't deal in hypotheticals
Correct.
here.
He's
so-
already convincing his brain. He's setting the narrative, weaving his fucking basket like the
Well,
master
since
that
we
he
don't
is.
have a lot of time today.
Yeah.
Speaking of Liverpool,
I just really do want I want to see you go up against PSG or Barcelona, because the explosive nightmare of offense that those two teams provide versus your defense would be a fun thing to see.
Julian Timber, the best right back on the planet. I fear no winger. Julian Timber.
Yeah, I mean he's been good, so I'm excited to see that. I'm very excited.
No
to see
left
as a
winger
neutral.
on
You're a
this
neutral.
planet.
Listen, dude, I like seeing Arsenal trip and fall over their own shoelaces and all that fun stuff, but I'm being honest, it was fucking sweet to see them, because I do really dislike Real Madrid because of what they've done to us. So it was fun to see.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
That's fine.
I'm stoked. It was good. You guys played fucking great. Now let's talk about this though. It begs the question when you see PSG looking this dynamic, this well structured, these young guys, the cohesiveness, anyone can score.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, Real Madrid looks a little bit off. Whatever. Is Kylian Mbappe a problem?
yeah,
People
I
are
mean, have you seen that clip from Luis Enrique when he was at PSG, where he was going at Mbappe, being like, "You say you like Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan defended his balls off. He fucking fought for his team."
Real
all this
Madrid had
shit.
zero pressing against Arsenal.
Yeah, no, that's
zero.
That's the thing, and that's been the problem all season with them.
Yeah.
Has been these guys. Za, guru, emperor, dictator, whatever you want to call him. He's one been pounding the table, saying it all
Yes.
season. They do not press back. Vinny and Mbappe do not play defense. Jude is screaming at them on the field the entire time.
It shouldn't have been on the Saka double. It shouldn't have been Jude Bellingham. It shouldn't have been Jude Bellingham fucking doubling up. It should have been who was on that side. Was it Rodrigo on that side? I think it was Rodrigo on that side.
No, Vinny.
It should have been Vinicius
Yeah.
on that side. It should have been Vinicius tracking back, but Jude Bellingham, the central midfielder. That's actually why, you know what? That's probably why Partey had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
The central
Ton of
midfielder.
space.
A central midfielder is pulled out to the wing in that transition period to go cover Saka, so he's got more space in central midfield. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They just don't defend.
No, and it's not changing. So they have a big problem on their hands, in my opinion, going into the offseason.
And
They
even
still don't
he-
have a 9.
Yep.
And if this is how it's going to be, and they're not only losing big Champions League moments to Arsenal, they're also losing regular season matches to no-name teams. Getafes and teams
all
that
that.
they should not be losing to.
Losing Carvajal was devastating because Valverde is legs.
But
and
you
his-
bring it. But their answer to
But
that
they
is
have-
bring in a guy who doesn't necessarily play lockdown
I'm
D,
not
who's
hearing
more of a
that.
midfielder.
They got Chomeni, they got Camavinga, they've
Trumani's
got
out. Trumani's out.
he's coming back next game. Modric and all that, man.
Modric is 100 years old.
True.
Valverde in the midfield would be very nice to have, but you got to play him at right back. And then David Alaba doesn't play left back.
He's not quick. He's not been that quick.
Yeah.
Mbappe actually thought he was gonna have a field day. You saw
What
that he
happened?
was sitting. He was
What's going-
sitting on Kivior the whole game.
But what's going on with Mbappe or Mendy? Ferland Mendy? Is he hurt?
I
He
don't
was
know.
injured, I think.
He had.
Or was he suspended? He might have been
Because
suspended.
I was gonna say him on Saka. At least he can match Saka's pace. I don't know if he can match the technical ability, but at least he would be there on pace.
Yeah.
Fairline. Nah, but that what's it called? Mbappe thinking he'll have a field day with Kivio. That made me happy. He literally was just sitting on Kivio's side. He didn't come across the Salibas. He was sitting on Kivio the entire game.
It is teeing up for a Marion Hossa situation
On your pressing thing.
for Mbappe.
On
Just flip flopping teams. Detroit wins.
Yeah.
Pens
yeah.
win. It's like, come on. And like he's like a sympathetic figure. Everyone felt bad for him, but with
Right.
Mbappe, if PSG pull it off and he goes to Real Madrid,
Yeah.
oh my God.
the one time they were actually very serious about pressing Maresh, guess what? Kivio misplaced a pass. So if they actually pressed yesterday, they could have gotten something.
My
They
other
don't
my
press.
other problem with like the way that they were playing was like too much flair. They had that early instance where Vinny and Mbappe were pacing down. Vinny had the ball. All he had to do was make the pass to Mbappe early. It was like a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
He takes his time and tries to Trivela around the defender, and you guys eat that up
Guess what?
easily.
It's all about Vinny.
So, but if I'm a Madrid fan, I'm like, place the fucking pass, score the goal, let's move. Let's get a 1-goal lead here early away. It's a very loud and hostile environment. Let's get the goal, have some security.
That's why those guys are jeered. He was jeered this past weekend.
Yeah.
He was booed this past weekend by his own fans because of that nonsense. It's a team game, but he's the eye guy because he wants to end up on a billboard.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
There's a bar right there. So.
Yeah.
It was.
The other thing before we send into the interview that I want to mention, it was like one of the best Champions League weeks I've ever seen. It was like vintage football, like all these sick goals. Integral
Goals wise, I don't remember knockouts. The
it's
quarterfinals
crazy.
having this many. Bro, there was a 4-0. There was a 4-0 in the quarterfinals.
But they were, and they were, but they were all
great goals too.
beautiful.
Yeah. they
Yeah,
were
but dude,
bangers.
that Inter goal was so fucking sick.
The
The
Martinez
second one?
The Martinez one.
Oh, the
Trivela?
inside boot. That was
Well,
nasty.
even the setup for it, like
Thuram
him and
left it
Thuram,
out.
her and Thuram, like knowing that like Laturo did hold up play at midfield. They bump it out wide. Thuram goes down the middle. They cross it, and he knows that Laturo's behind him. He touches it between his legs, drop pass. You so rarely see, like the drop pass is such a big part of hockey, but you rarely see it
Yeah.
executed in football. That drop pass and then travelling it, once again, Moan. That was so
Well, and
fucking
that's why I've been pounding the table. Forza.
That
We're
is
big-
true.
we're big
Day
Forza
one
over
Forza.
Forza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all
Forza.
Inter fans.
I love it.
Except for the Arsenal guys until
Yeah.
while
Did we
you
drew against them.
you did draw.
No,
No,
they
you
beat
lost.
us
You
1-0
lost.
on that free
No, you
kick.
lost.
Lost 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a stupid free kick we gave.
Before we could get to the Brad Guzan interview, I think we'd be remiss to not touch on Liverpool
Yeah,
pulling off the signings. It looks like they're going to get Salah and Van Dijk.
running it back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
see that.
just came out this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got no comment on him. Fuck him.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this season, I don't know if what they did this season can be replicated, especially
Good for
on Salah's
Liverpool fans though, because now they got a little more sunshine.
on the lows.
Because like for a team that's winning the Prem, it feels like it's been gloomy and rainy out. And now that they know that they have him back, it's like, all right, the sun's
I
coming
don't
back
get
out.
this narrative. I don't get this narrative that people are spinning on the internet of like, is it sad that they've only left with one trophy? They are winning the Premier League, the second
I
time
think
that
that-
they'll win it in the history of the English Premier League.
I think
They've won
it's-
the first division a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But I don't get this.
I think it's just because it's been done and dusted for so long
Right.
that it's just like there's no. If they were if
Race.
Arsenal did their job and was
So
in
what?
the mix.
But like, so what?
I agree.
I'm
Yeah,
just like, if
we
Arsenal,
did
if
our
Arsenal,
job.
if Arsenal,
Sports
were
are
this-
stories.
I
Our
don't
points.
give a shit if it's I'm the biggest Liverpool hater, but I just don't get this narrative. If Arsenal were 12 points clear
Oh yeah.
with 8 games left, this would be
It
huge.
would be a coronation.
Huge for them.
Yeah.
Any club. If United were 12 points clear after the 10, 13 years we've had now, it would
Nah,
be
they
huge.
They know they cheated. I mean, the 11 points, the Arsenal ones. I can show you where the 11 points are. It's all the shady ass red cards. It's all the shady ass red cards and the penalties. That's exactly where it is.
Yeah.
But Brighton.
Okay,
yeah,
right,
one-
we
but
don't
anyway,
have time.
Anyway, on the why did I have my hand up? Oh yeah, I have a question for you. Question for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool wins the league. Let's say hypothetically, inshallah, Arsenal wins the Champions League. Does that completely that completely overshadow?
That would be a
Yes.
bigger story.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Enjoy the interview with Brad Guzan. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, and now we have Brad Guzan with us through Zoom, not in office, but we're still grateful to have you here with us. If you guys
Chicago boy.
Yeah, you're one of our own.
For sure. Happy to join y'all.
Now, you're from Evergreen, right?
Evergreen Park.
Was born over there, yeah, but grew up in Homer Glen, so southwest suburb guy.
Oh, it is a suburb. Did you spend a lot of time in the city or no?
I mean, not tons of time, but enough to go in and enjoy myself and do all the things that the city has to offer. But yeah, I left Chicago when I was 17, 18 when I went to college, and so probably didn't get the full experience of the city. But
it's still in your blood. You're a South Side guy. It counts. We'll count it.
For sure.
You a Sox guy?
What's that?
Sox?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, now I'm more a Braves fan than anything.
Yeah, good choice.
But yeah, it's been painful.
Hey, we're in first place now, though.
Yeah. Speaking of Atlanta, what is going on down there with the MLS? Why is it just taken off like wildfire? It feels like you guys are breaking attendance records. You have this cult following. How did that happen there?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it started first and foremost with our owner's vision. And obviously soccer back in the day in the Southeast, it wasn't too successful, right? And teams had folded and relocated and whatnot. And Arthur Blank, he saw a vision and a possibility for it. And the old saying, "If you build it, they will come," was certainly true for us. And he put it together in terms of the team and the club, but I don't even think he expected the support that we received, and we continue to receive. All the way since day one. It's been phenomenal, and we're lucky to be able to have that type of support because, as you mentioned, we continue to break down barriers and records, and the support's insane.
Now, we're in Chicago. We're trying to be Chicago Fire fans. They play in an NFL stadium as well. Is there anything specific that you look to, like when you talk about Arthur Blank's vision, like he did X, Y, and Z? Can you give us like 2 examples of things that we can steal from you guys to try to grow it here in Chicago?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think you guys, in terms of an owner that's willing to invest in the team, you guys have that, right? The Fire have that, which wasn't always the case with that club. And the second thing, I think when you look at Atlanta United, you look at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you look at where we play and the stadium that we play in, and I know that's a hot topic right now up in Chicago with a potential new stadium, whether it's downtown or whether it's out in the suburbs a little bit. But that I think is a huge draw in terms of going to an event, going to a game, and making it as comfortable as possible for the viewer and for the fans.
How does the Atlanta environment compare to Villa Park? Like you were a legend, played at Villa Park for a long time. We're big Premier League guys, Nottingham Forest. He's Arsenal. How does that kind of game day environment in Atlanta? Because it looks wild, but obviously the cultures are different. How do you compare the two?
No, I mean, listen, it's hard to compare them, right? But when you break it down in terms of atmosphere, when you break it down in terms of the chaos and the craziness and the noise and just what is being created from a fan base, it's on par with the Premier League. It's right there. And you look at Villa Park and I remember those nights, and they were special nights. They were special nights in terms of the noise, in terms of the intensity, the atmosphere. And we certainly do that here in Atlanta at the Benz. And I think it has that European feel to it, but also that American flair, if you will, right? It's the constant chants, it's the constant getting behind the team, the cheering, the noise. As a player, it almost turns into a white noise because it is so constant, it is so loud. But that's what you want. You want that atmosphere to be created for you out on the field.
I wanted to ask you a personal question because I was kind of going through your career. And starting with Villa, like it felt almost kind of like a toxic relationship in a sense. Like you're with them, you're not with them, you're back with them, and then you end up being voted their most valuable player. I believe that was in like 2012, 2013. So in this career of like peaks and valleys, like what kept you level and kept that belief in yourself that, hey, I belong here and I know I could contribute to this team?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you need to have that self-confidence, and it's not an arrogance, it's not a cockiness, right? It's a self-confidence and a belief in yourself that you can go and do it because at the highest level, if you need outside motivation, if you need others to try and push you, you're probably not going to make it at that level. And for me, that was always my dream to go to Europe and play for a big club. And I was close. I had to go kind of cut my teeth, elsewhere for a period or two. But then going back to Villa Park and getting the opportunity, and when you get that opportunity, you've got to be ready for it. You've got to be able to grasp it with both hands. And in that moment, I was able to do that and tried to just take each week as it came and enjoy it. And when I look back on my time at Villa Park, when I look back on my time at Villa and in England and in general, I don't think I appreciated it enough in the moment. And it's a time that I hold very close to my heart in terms of the memories, in terms of the experiences that I was able to have, and I'm very thankful for those experiences.
Are you looking back on your career? I mean, you're 40 and you're still playing. So what is going on? How are you able to still play at a professional level at 40 years old?
Yeah, I mean, listen, first and foremost, you've got to look after yourself, and you try and do that with all the sports science and all the nutrition and all the support staff that clubs nowadays that they have, and you try to utilize all the tools that you can to stay healthy, to stay fit, and be out on the field and being able to compete and train and prepare yourself for games. So that's first and foremost. But I still have that desire to be out there. The banter and the camaraderie in the locker room, the competing and fighting on the field in terms of going out there to win, whether it's a 5v5 or 11v11 or ultimately on a game day. It's those types of moments that you cherish as a player and as a competitor, and I still have that desire to do that. And so I don't look back on my career. I continue to look forward because I still feel I've got a lot to give. And listen, until that day comes where I wake up and I think to myself, no, I don't want to go to training. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to throw myself on the ground and get back up and do it again and do that 100 times a day. Then I'll know it's time to hang up my boots. But like I said, I don't have that feeling whatsoever, and for me that's a good thing.
See, that's why you're the professional and we're the podcasters, because when people ask me what do you miss about American football, the only thing I say is the locker room. I don't miss practice. I don't miss getting lit up every single day. So you being 40 years old, this long career, what is now your role in the locker room? Are you still getting after it with the young guys, or have you kind of taken that father figure role?
No, I think it's a little bit of both, right? I've got
You're an uncle. You're a fun uncle.
Exactly. I've got 4 kids of my own, and so I try to utilize our kids. I try to look for free babysitters. Nobody's volunteered in that aspect yet.
Do you trust anybody? Do you trust anybody?
That's the other case. I don't know if they're. I think my kids would be probably more responsible than some of the guys we got in our locker room. But no, it's about using them to keep me up to date on the current lingo and all these slang words that these kids are using.
You got a favorite one that they taught you?
What's that?
What, you got a favorite slang word that they taught you?
Oh, talking about Riz and talking about all this stuff, right? It's I don't know. It's that's not for me, right?
You got 4 kids, so you had plenty of Riz.
Yeah, correct. I love it. I appreciate it. But no, it's trying to push these guys, man. It's as much as I said, it's about the camaraderie and the banter. The jokes are still there. The banter's still there, and most importantly, when it's time to go out to quote unquote work in terms of training and playing games, it's about winning. And that's what I care about most, and trying to get these guys to understand that, especially some of our younger pros and younger guys, because I think in professional sports these days, some of these young guys, especially in the soccer scene, a lot of things are given to a lot of younger pros these days, in the sense of earning that right and earning that ability to be in and around the first team and earning their way onto the field. Sometimes that gets lost a little bit, and you've got to be willing to put the work in to do that.
That's a perfect transition because that makes me think of U.S. men's national team. So put your
Hot topic.
put your fan hat, your analyst hat, your veteran hat on. When you look at the men's national team and what just happened in Nations League, are you still optimistic for 2026? What is this group missing? Because when I look at your era, you knew what you were getting. It was guys who are just going to work their bag off for 90 minutes, and they might be outmanned, but they were going to compete their ass off. And when you look at them now, it's like I feel like USA Soccer's lost their identity.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's a combination of those two things, right? I think when you look at the individual player, you look at these clubs that these players are playing at overseas. I mean, I'm talking big European clubs, right? And they're playing regularly, they're getting minutes, and that part's important because you want that to translate into the national team. But international soccer, international football is different than club soccer, and I think we understand that as a group, but understanding it and then going out and executing how it's different in terms of being able to roll your sleeves up and being able to go and fight and scrap. And then when you have that one moment of brilliance and that one moment of perfection, that skill level kind of overtakes the game a little bit and you're able to find the back of the net. I think that's we need to have that balance and that mix of the two. I think sometimes, especially in the last few games, it's the balance hasn't been there in terms of being able to roll our sleeves up and scrap and fight. Because some of these other countries, especially in our region, that's exactly what they're all about and exactly what they're willing to do. And when you're on top of the totem pole in our region, you got to know that everyone's coming for you, and you got to be willing to match that fight.
You hear Nick Saban talking a lot about rat poison, where like the media's like, oh, we're so good, and it kind of gets in their head. They take their foot off the pedal a little bit. Do you think the U.S. men's national team, now that we have players succeeding in Europe in Champions League, wearing the armband in a Champions League match, do you think some of that might be getting to them and kind of taking away from that pride and that grit that we're used to seeing?
No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's them thinking that we're too good and that they're too good and they could just kind of stroll out there. I think it's like I said, it's a balance and being able to come together as a bunch of individuals and now put it collectively together. I think that part has been a bit of a challenge, and at times it looks a little bit individualistic. And like I said, that competitiveness, that fight, that scrapping ability, we miss that, especially at key moments in games, and ultimately when you miss that aspect of the game in key moments, you're going to be punished for it.
Yeah, I was doing a little YouTube search on you today, too. There's a video out there, 53,000 views from 12 years ago, saying Brad Guzan, the underrated villain. And it feels like that's the type of like attitude, that moxie, all the things that you're saying here. If Pochettino calls you in for some kind of a role, are you going? Are you taking your for the Gold Cup this coming summer? You're like, hey, like we just need that energy. Would you?
First of all, let me put this out there. I am not anticipating a call. I do not think he will be calling whatsoever. Listen, with that being said, there's no greater honor than representing your country. There's no greater honor than wearing that badge and putting that shirt on and competing in any capacity, whether it's a tournament, a friendly, or whatnot. I think there's enough guys that know how to do that, that know how to compete. We just have to go out and do it. We have to be able to understand the situations that we're in and we find ourselves in and be able to go and do that. And like I said, I've had my time with the national team. I would never say no to the national team, but I've had my time. And like I said, that call is certainly not coming. But my hope and wish is that we've got enough guys that can see that, can recognize that, and when they get to go there for the summer, we're able to prove and show that.
All right. Well, breaking news: Brad Guzan not retired from international football. It's not retired. Not getting the call, but also not retired. So maybe pick up the phone.
Hey, you guys are gonna get some mad comments on this after this segment.
I got one last question for you. You're Polish American, correct?
Correct.
Are you a fan of that Jello fish?
Jellofish. Talk to me.
So it's like a Polish dish, and it's Jello, and there's like fish inside of it. Sometimes there's pork inside of it. It's like a famous Polish dish. And this girl I took out was telling me the name of it. I can't remember the name of it, but she's like, yeah, it's a Polish thing. We eat it on all our holidays. So I was like, all right, Brad's Polish American. I got to see if he's
I don't know if I've had that one. I don't know. I'm down.
Not a Chicago guy.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm honestly glad you didn't, because I don't know how anyone could eat it. That's why I was just asking. I didn't know if you were a fan of it. Maybe I should go out and try
that's
it.
a bit much. We've got two Polish players on our team. As soon as this call's over, I'm gonna go ask the question. So,
ask him about the
I'll
jellofish
report
and
back.
get that
I'll
back
report
to us. Yes, because I know it's a thing. I know it's a thing.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I think we only had 15 minutes with you, so we're thrilled to have you, Brad. Thanks for joining the program, and maybe we'll make you a recurring guest. That would be great.
Hey, I love it. Always a pleasure, man. Appreciate you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brad.